Good day everyone. I will going to discuss the design for quality, chapter 6. So design for quality, it is a process. It is a comprehensive and elaborated. Of course, this is not easy. There are many people involved here. When the company creating something that they want to be a high quality, from the top management into the lower management or staff are involved when they process a design. So these are my chapter outline. 6.1 Design Innovation and Improvement, 6.2 the design process, 6.3 Quality Function Deployment or QFD, the House of Quality, 6.4 Specifications and Standards, 6.5 Design Quality in the Service Sector, 6.6 Failure Mode, Effect and Criticality Analysis or FMECA, 6.7 The Links between Good Design and Managing the Business. So let's proceed. Design, Innovation and Improvement. Design is the process of conceiving of and organizing the production of objects. So, those products and services are designed to have a revenue of a company through selling it to those customers who see their value or the value of the product and services. So, every company had a specific target market, so their product and service are only designed to their specific target. To fully understand, design is the way in which something has been planned and made, including what it looks like and how it well works. So design is not only for appearance, but also it is how useful it is. So innovation, it is the practice of developing and introducing new things. All business should upgrade their products because these are the needs of people. Their needs will evolve. The needs and wants of people are also upgraded. So example is cell phone. iPhone 6. So before iPhone 6, isa ra ang camera, then at the same time shadow Japan siya camera, but nagka-improve sa latest karon, which is iPhone 13 or nabay 14. Mas nagka high quality ang ilang product. So the point is, business are need to adapt changes through innovation. Innovation doesn't mean that you should provide something new product into the market, but it can be upgrading existing product or develop it to cater the needs and wants of the market. So design decision is move on internal management. Design is about combining function and form to achieve fitness for purpose, be it an improvement to a supersonic aircrafts and synthesis of a new drug, the development of a new building, and so on. So 6.2 the design process. Design process through a set of actions that take an idea from conception to realizations. So, through commitment, we can provide quality output and inaana po sa business. So, through the commitment on senior management, so senior management man kay murag sila na ang naay alam about sa ilang business, and there's a quality to the design process and ensure good relationship and good communication each departments and even supply chain. So these are the three principles: the strategic balance, top management approach, teamwork. So These three principles all are like standards when it comes to innovation to be successful. When you innovate, and this is the first principle, the strategic balance. So it says here that the strategic balance is needed between product or service and process development to ensure that product and service innovation maintains market position, while process innovation ensures that production risks in safety, quality, and productivity are effectively controlled and reduced. So, ang giingon diri is kung mag-innovate ka, dapat balance japon ang attention nimo sa other aspect o sa imong business. Sa example, sa sige kag innovate without knowing nawala na imong funds or na bankrupt na ka na imong business. So the second principle is the top management approach. I think it is a common knowledge na the initiatives to innovate a new or existing product is from the top management. They are the one who have legitimate authority, sila ang magdesisyon. So, the last is teamwork. We all know that many people are involved here. Karang bali grupo-grupo ba dapat na ay teamwork para ma-successful, and yes, this is very important, Jude, especially when we talks about innovation. So, the teamwork daw should be urgent yet informal. For too much formality can stifle initiatives, kanabang dili kay nila ma-share ilang mga unique ideas, and di po sila malingaw og design kung sobraan na kayo ka formal. Next is designing. It is a process of presenting needs in something physical form, initially as a solution and then as a specific configuration or arrangement of materials, resources, equipment, and people. So, next is designing must take place in all aspects of identifying the need, including need for change. So, when we have a business, we should identify the need of people or of our market, including na ang kailangan ibago, because what I have said na magbago-bago jud ang needs and wants sa tao. So, if natay product nga kailangan i-improve, dapat atong i-innovate or i-change to have satisfaction. Next is developing that which satisfies the needs. Sa akong giingon ganina nga, i-develop ang atong product para masatisfy ang atong target market or masatisfy ang atong customer. And next is checking the conformance to the need and ensuring that the need is satisfied.
If we are in a business, dapat atong mindset is dapat na-adjust na nato ang kailangan sa customer or sa market to meet their satisfaction.
So, most companies are now recognize the need to develop and successfully deploy an end-to-end product or service creation process. So, such a PCP or SCP will transgress the whole organization and involve the engagement of all functional areas. As an example of such process is makita sa figure 6.2. So, of course, una ang brainstorming ani. Brainstorming of ideas for new product, then after that, from marketing to research and development to manufacturing and back to marketing again, they will identify whether that ideas for a new product has an opportunity in the market. And once they prove na the whole PCP and SCP or total design process and development will happen, then eventually that the product or service will be launched in the market.
So, next is
quality function deployment, or the house of quality. The house of quality is the framework of an approach to design management known as quality function deployment. So quality function deployment is a system for designing a product or service. So these are the activities included in QFD. First is market research, basic research, innovation, concept design, prototype testing, final product or service testing, after-sales service, and troubleshooting. So, first, market research. So, of course, this is where you study the demands of the market, the current trends, and even their wants. Next is basic research. So this one is, I think, sa mismong product or service nga plano nimo i-offer sa ila. Syempre, kailangan jud ang basic research to generate ideas for new product. And third is innovation. We all know that this one is very important in all businesses to maintain the position of your product in the market. You always have to invade. Dapat there is always something new, product or service na imong i-offer sa market. Next is concept design. So this one is an early phase of the design process. Diri makita ang general design process or outlines of function. It includes the design of interaction, experiences, processes, and strategies. Next is prototype testing. This is the process of testing the prototype with real users to validate design decision before development starts. The goal of this is to identify problems and areas of improvement early, so you can make the necessary changes prior to development and build the product that meets users' needs and expectations. 6 is final product or service testing. This is done to ensure the performance of properties of a product. 7 is after-sales service and troubleshooting. So just like what I have mentioned earlier, once the product is successfully launched in the market, they have to ensure that the product or services are meeting the customer's requirements, needs, or wants. So the organization have to do an after-sales support. It ensures the satisfaction and also to provide service. So next is 6.3, quality function deployment or QFD, the house of quality. So an effective QFD team must be able to answer these 3 questions: the who, what, and how. So first is, who are the customers? So you should identify your target market. And second is, what does the customer need? So through interview, questionnaire, focus group process, or from the knowledge and judgment of the QFD team members. So third is, how will the needs be satisfied? So this third question is the most complicated and difficult to determine, as it will depend on the attributes of the product service. Next is the house of quality provides organization with the means of internal department or interfunctional planning and communication, starting with the so-called customers attributes or CA. So CA are phrases the customers use to describe product, process, or service characteristics. Those CAs will examine QFD team to generate ideas for new product or service. Next is this. So the QFD or House of Quality tables, this figure 6.4 just shows the essential components of the quality table or HOQ diagrams. The summary of the HOQ diagram is that it is built to show how customer requirements relate directly to the ways and methods of the companies used to achieve those requirements. So HOQ is considered the primary tool used during quality function deployment to help facilitate group decision making. So next is 6.4, specifications and standards. So specification is a detailed description of the design and materials used to make something. This is the aqua processing specifying. So for example, magpalit kog bag, dili lang appearance akong tan-awon, pati na ang quality kung baga ba or ligon. So next is standard. So a level of quality or attainment. Standardization does not generate that the best design or specification is selected. It may be argued that the whole process of standardization slows down the rate and direction of technological development and affects what is produced. So it helps in ensuring the safety and compatibility of goods. For example, bag, dili ni siya ma-available if wala nakapasa ang specification sa standards. So next is, so this is the figure 6.5. So the deployment of the voice of the customer through quality table. Next is the basic specification requirements. So performance requirements of the product or service in measurable terms. So dapat gina-measure nato ang performance sa usa ka product, kung na-meet ba niya ang needs or na-meet ba niya ang requirements or service sa market. Next is parameters such as dimensions, concentration, turnaround time, which describe product or service adequately. This should be quantified and include the units of measurement. So turnaround time is kung pila ang imong kabuuan bitaw sa imong oras while in process. So materials to be used by stipulating properties or referring to other specifications. So materials nga gamiton sa product. So next is method of production or delivery of the service. Next is the inspection, testing, checking the requirements. So dapat i-inspect nimo or ang product kung na-meet ba niya ang requirements. And next is references to other applicable specification or documents. Next is 6.5, design quality in the service sector. In terms of design, it is possible to recognize three distinct elements in the service package: the physical elements or facilitating goods, the explicit service or sensual benefits, and implicit service or psychological benefits. In addition, the particular characteristics of service delivery systems may be itemized in intangibility, perishability, simultaneity, and heterogeneity. So first, let's discuss the facilitating goods. So facilitating goods, these were the products products and service helps an organization achieve its objective. In other words, they assist and support, control, benefit. For example, massage. And next is selling features which the consumer may serve only vaguely. For example, privacy of loan and office security. So next is, what is intangibility? So intangibility is derived from the fact that you cannot see or touch a service. Next is perishability. So it is the quality of good, beverage, or another service product that makes it expire or spoil quickly. So dapat jud example sa mga utan, dapat mapabilin jud silang fresh to make to the safety of the people, for the safety of the people. Next is simultaneity. So it refers to the prosperity of the service which make it compulsory to produce and consume the service. Consume the service at the same time. So next is heterogeneity. So each service offering is unique, so and cannot be exactly repeated, even by the same service provider. Next is, in design of services, it is useful to classify them in some way. Several sources from the literature on the subject help us to place services in one of 5 categories. So first is service factory, second service shop, third mass service, professional service, personal service. So service factory, it is the factory can be source of customer service in addition to a place where products are manufactured. Next is service shop. So any building apart, therefore, where appliances, equipment, instruments, and machineries are sold or serviced or repaired. Next is mass service. So they provide service in like sa supermarkets, sa airports. Next is professional service. It is very basic, requiring specialized knowledge and skill, usually of a mental and or intellectual nature, and usually requiring a license, certification, or registration. Professional service like sa engineers, sa mga architect. So lastly is personal service. So it is service based on the intellectual or manual efforts to an individual. As for salary or wages, they perform for a fee. Next is, several service attributes have particular significance for the design of the service operations. First is labor intensity. So labor intensity, the ratio of labor costs incurred to the value of assets and equipment used. So these are the people, users, equipment based services. So second is contact, the proportion of the total time required they provide the services for which the consumer is present in the system. Third is interaction. So, wala na kalabitang wala. The extent to which the consumer activity intervene in the service process to change the content of the service. This includes the customer participation to provide information from which needs can be inferred. Next is customization, which includes the choice, providing one or more selection from a range of options, which can be single or fixed, and adoption. The interaction process, in which the requirement is decided, designed, and delivered to match the need. Next is nature of service act, either tangible, perceptible to touch, and can be owned, or intangible. And lastly, the recipient of service. It's either people or things. So, Parasuraman and others use their relationship between service quality and customer perception of product quality. So, these are their 5 dimensions: the reliability, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and tangible. So, when we say reliability, it is providing service as promised, and dependability in handling customers' service problems, performing services right the first time, and providing services at the promised time, and maintaining error-free records. So, responsiveness, it is keeping customers informed of when services will be performed, prompt service to customers, and willingness to help customers. And readiness. Next is assurance. So, instilling confidence in customers, make customers feel safe in their transactions, and being consistently courteous, having the knowledge to answer questions. Empathy is giving customers individual attention, dealing with customers in a caring fashion, having the customer's best interests at heart, understanding the needs of their customers, and convenient business hours. Tangibles, it is modern equipment, visually appealing facilities, having a neat professional appearance, and visually appealing materials associated with the service. Next is conventional legal advisor will be much less prominent in the future than in the recent past, and there are 2 major forces that are shaping and characterizing legal services: market pull towards commoditization, and pervasive development and uptake of information technology. So, to complete a solid foundation of high-quality, efficient processes will be required. So, there is a need to identify the tasks that the market is increasingly unlikely to tolerate expensive lawyers that can be delegated to less expert and less expensive people working with sophisticated process and systems. Second is to identify the new and different client needs emerging. So, dapat atong i-identify atong task sa market kung asa ang naga-increase. And we should identify nga unsa ang bag-o and different client needs. Next is, which means that legal companies will need to be really clear on their strengths, identify their distinctive skills, talents, and capabilities that cannot be replaced by advanced systems or less costly workers supported by IT or standard processes. They will also need to be very clear on how to position themselves in the market, and they will need to address their weaknesses, drive out excesses, reduce waste, eliminate outdated practice, and upskill to remove outdated lawyer. So this figure tells that continuous innovation required. So what is bespoke today will not be tomorrow. So it means that example is kung unsay trend karon is ginatagaan og attention, but we should not think nga magstay na karon nga trend, kay as what I said nga people needs and wants will be upgraded or will be changed. So bespoke is a highly customized, advocacy, disposable, drafting from scratch, one lawyer, personalized, face-to-face, to standardize, avoids duplication. So you should avoid duplication and effort, process standardization, tools, checklists, substance standardization, so the documents and the templates. Next is systematize. So systems develop, automation of legal services, documents, assembly. And next is package for clients, so systems available to clients. So internal knowledge, overheads employment contracts. And next is commodities, so commoditize, so online or IT based to IT based, so readily available in market, electronic or online offers, debt collection, new regulations. So innovation opportunity is developing systems and packages ahead of the competitions. So dapat ahead jud imong pag-develop sa imong product, para pag-abot sa adlaw nana kay ikapuli diretso or nanay makita nga bagong product para sa mga customers for them to be satisfied. Next is 6.6, failure mode, effect, and criticality analysis. So, FMECA. Failure mode, effect, analysis, FMEA, is the study of potential failures to determine their effects. If the results of FMEA are ranked in order of seriousness, then the word criticality is added to give FMECA. So the primary objective, production or operation and distribution that are critically to the various modes or failures in order to reduce failure. So kani nga process is they should determine the failing products and what is the effect of this into the business. So the elements of a complete FMECA are failure mode, failure effect, failure criticality. So when we say failure mode, it is the study sa mga most probable failure mode, location, and mechanism of the product. Next is failure effects. So this is the study to determine the probable effects of the performance of the products or services. Next is failure criticality. It is examined to determine the severity of each failure effect in terms of lowering or of performance, safety hazard, total loss of function. So, proof formats and software are available and they set out the steps of the analysis as follows. First is identify the product or system components or process function. Second, list all possible failure modes of each components. Third, set down the effects that each mode of failure would have on the function of the product or system. Fourth, list all of the possible causes of each failure mode. Fifth, assess numerically the failure modes on a scale from 1 to 10. Experience the reliability data should be used together with judgment to determine the values on a scale 1 to 10. For P, the probability of each failure mode occurring. 1 is low and 10 is the high. S is the seriousness of criticality of the failure. D is the difficulty of detecting the failure before the product or service is used by the consumer. 6 is calculate the product of the ratings. C equals P times S times D, known as the criticality index or risk priority number RPN for each failure mode. This indicates the relative priority of each mode in the failure prevention activities. So 7 is indicate briefly the corrective action required and if possible which person, department, function, or group is responsible and the expected completion date. So this is the table 6.4, probability and seriousness of failure and difficulty of detection. So value 1 to 10. So next is moments of truth. It is the moment in the time when a customer comes in contact with the people, system, procedures, or product or organization which leads to the customer making a judgment about the quality of organization's product or services. So MOT or moment of truth is the first impression of the customer into the product of the company. So example is gusto kay kamukaon sa any restaurants. So dara na dahil mo mahibal-an if lami ba ang ilang mga pagkaon or tsada ba mo serve ang ilang mga crew. 6.7 The links between good design and managing the business. Research has led to a series of specific aspects to address in order to integrate design into an organization. So the aspects may be summarized under the headings of leadership and management style, customers, strategy and planning, people, their management and satisfaction, resource management, process management, impact on society and business performance. So the research shows the excess between good design and proactive, flexible deployment of business policies and strategies. So design needs coordinating and managing right across the organization. Next is this. Effective people management skills are essential for good design. This includes the ability to listen and communicate, to motivate employees and encourage teamwork, as well as the ability to create an organizational climate which is conducive to creativity and continuous innovation. The only way to ensure that design actively contributes to business performance is to make sure it happens by design rather than by accident. In short, it needs coordinating and managing right across the organization. So this is this is the value chain and process. So this figure or process shows that the active coordination and contribution of each parties, the business that are being connected by the design process and effective planning, strategizing, and management. It says that suppliers have a different communication and partnership with the organization. or business. So as the design process is ongoing, padayon Japon ang pag-coordinate sa organizations, sa suppliers to make the design process properly. Then, that is the partnership between the supplier and organization. Next is the direct communication or partnership of organization with the customers. So, as what I have mentioned earlier, the customer are the main target of the design and plans naghihimo sa organization. The customers are the receiver of the action nagibuhat sa organization, and that will call the partnership between the organization and the customers. So, dili mag-work ang design process kung walay partnership from the supplier to the organization and organization to customers. So, that would be all. Thank you for listening.